What's going on, guys? Chuck back with another awesome Blu-ray purchase. And today, I'm going to take a look at one of my halfway to Black Friday sale purchases from Vinegar Syndrome, and this is one that kind of surprised me that it got the treatment that it got from Vinegar Syndrome. Then again, knowing Vinegar Syndrome, I really should be surprised. But as soon as I saw this was a day one pre-order purchase, and I just got it yesterday, as of this recording, and that is the 4K limited edition special of Showgirls. I know you're as surprised as I am that Showgirls got this awesome treatment from Vinegar Syndrome. Um, this is a movie that has, I don't know, it's got a reputation, and its reputation precedes it. This film came out in 1995, so that's we're looking at 2005, 15. Looking over, God, almost 30 years. I mean, of this. Wow, I didn't think about that. That's a long time. This is one that I actually saw this in the theater when it came out. I was excited to see this, no pun intended, for a few reasons. And let's be honest. I'm not gonna BS you. I went to see it because of Elizabeth Berkley. Uh, if you don't know, I am a huge Saved by the Bell fan, and when this came out, and for one, it was, like I said, this from hearing about sleazy, seeing the trailer, I mean, it looks sleazy, and as I've said before, I like sleaze. And this kind of actually kind of like a high class sleaze, if you will. About showgirls, strippers. I'm all about that. No shame in my game. And then when I heard Elizabeth Berkley was going to be in it, I was intrigued. It's like, okay, this is interesting. And then when I heard it was NC-17 about strippers, exotic dancers, and Elizabeth Berkley was in this, I was sold because again, this is my, 1995 self-talking, which was put me in my 20-year-old self-talking, thinking, okay, this means I'm probably going to get a chance to see Jesse Spano naked. And I was not disappointed. For those of you who don't know, Showgirls is basically the story of a was it Nomi? I believe her name. It's not even Naomi. It's Nomi. It's she's a local strip club performer who has desires of being a big dancer. She gets her shot in Vegas, and she makes the most of it. I don't want to go in detail because it is what it is. It's basically a more sleazy version of All About, the storyline of All About Eve. It's kind of the same thing. Ingenue comes up in the ranks. There's the big star who's worried about her spot. Ingenue comes in, takes over, becomes just as dastardly as the other person. Basically getting that spot corrupts you, yada yada yada, whatever. I don't think anyone came to this movie for the plot. They came for the TNA, and there was plenty of TNA to be had in this movie. It gets a bad rap, and admittedly, it's not an art house film by any stretch of the imagination. It's not a great film by any stretch of the imagination, but what it is, it's fun. It is just hokey fun with a lot of TNA, and again, you get Jesse Spano naked. I don't. It gets, like I said, it gets a bad rap. I don't understand really what people expected from a movie called Showgirls, and I'll tell you one thing. That same year, I think around the same time, Demi Moore was in that film Striptease with Burt Reynolds, which I think kind of got a bad rep also. But let me tell you, that movie is a lot worse than Showgirls. You give me the two. Even when you got Demi Moore in stripping, looks great and all. Showgirls is a much more fun film, and it's a more memorable film. I'd recommend anything from Striptease except for Burt Reynolds all oiled up, and it's just not an image I want to see. Oh, and Demi Moore dancing topless. But Showgirls to me is a much more entertaining, more fun film. It's not boring by any stretch of imagination. And if you're like me and you like your sleeves, it's definitely not boring. um, and like I said, I remember going to see this in the theater, and again, there was really, I got two things out of this film. One was seeing the film and getting to see, I said, Elizabeth Berkley in all her glory. The second was an unexpected treat because when this came out, this was released by United Artists, and this was 1995, and this was right at the time when James Bond was making his comeback to theaters after being dormant in legal troubles or whatever since 1989. So, and this was also the debut of Pierce Brosnan's Bond, and this is going to be the first Bond I got to see in the theater was, of course, GoldenEye. And I remember this because the trailer for GoldenEye was released in front of Showgirls. So that's like a huge memory for me. So, you get a Bond trailer and Elizabeth Berkley naked. So it's a good memory for me. But like I said, I have a lot of fun with this movie. It's not the best. It's nothing. It's not art house, whatever. I think a lot of people say that Elizabeth Berkley's career kind of took a dive after this, which is a shame. But I think she's recovered quite well. Actually, I think she's learned to kind of take the role in stride and enjoy it and make the most of it. Especially because the film has developed a major cult following from that point. And these, this is always the kind of films that are destined for a cult status eventually. It's kind of out of the norm. It's extremely cheesy. It just comes and goes. It's panned, but it's rediscovered years later because of the I don't want to say, I guess you could say almost campiness of it. But there's just something about it that just resonates, and again, people just find it fun, and it's just developed a huge cult following. And I think Elizabeth Berkley has kind of embraced that so much so. And I really enjoyed this when they had during the Saved by the Bell, I guess we'd call it reboot series they did on Peacock. Was shame only lasted 2 seasons, which is really enjoyable because they were poking fun at the show and the situations themselves. But they also, Elizabeth Berkley, of course, came back as Jessie Spano, and she makes a great reference with the episodes about her time in Vegas because she does a thing where she's a scene where she ends up doing like a pole dance, and I remember. Kelly and I think it was Lisa was there. They actually, what happened to you in Vegas? Where did that come from? And Jesse says, I had spent some time in Vegas. I don't want to talk about it, or it was a crazy time, or whatever. But I thought it was hilarious. I mean, she's actually embraced it, and okay with making fun of the movie itself, and her place in it, and that's good. I mean, I think for her to take that step into doing something like coming from something like Saved by the Bell. Your Saturday morning teen show, and to step out and go completely opposite. It's a risk. You've got your fan base of these preteens, and honestly, I mean, maybe in her mind, you can't help but think when you make that jump, some of that fan base is gonna, resonate to that for obvious reasons. But for her, I'm sure she wanted to get away from that kind of the Saturday morning family dynamic, or whatever, not dynamic, but family friendly aspect roles, and kind of get out of that pigeonhole and try something more obviously adult, something 180 degrees away from Jessie Spano, and she did that. Now again, whether it succeeded or not. Eventually, I think it did. At the time, obviously not too much. She only had a few roles here. I believe she did a role in her First Wives Club. She had a bit part. I think Any Given Sunday. I think she had a small part in that, but nothing really major stood out. So, but her again, she's I think found a way to reestablish herself, which is good. And again, not to turn her back on the film. Taking it all in stride and, embracing what it is and what it's become. So, on that note, Vinegar Syndrome, for their halfway to Black Friday sale, had mentioned some of their titles they're releasing, and this one caught me by surprise. But again, this great 4K, 4K. Elizabeth Berkley, all her glory, 4K. On this fantastic release. So let's take a look at this. So here's the big box. Here's your spine. Same on the other side. Just the back, you've got girls. This is very similar. The old ways back, I don't say review, but I had the Roadhouse 4K, and this is kind of like the same similar set. And they do this, I think, with a few sets. So, but this is great treatment. So you've got the, let's see, here it is, the magnetic flip, and it opens up to this great, these little ads here. Of course, it's one from the movie, but you got these little, girls ads. So you pop out the little thingy here. Oh, and we have in the back here, we've got a private dance, like a little flyer for her, dance instructor guy there. Was it Jane Smith? At the Crave Club this Saturday. I can't, let me go. There we go. So that's a really nice little detail inside this box. And again, very solid box, nicely done. The magnetic flip cover keeps everything intact. Inside, we've got a booklet with Elizabeth Berkley, scantily covered, and of course it goes all the way around. So if you open up, there's the whole cover, and you've got nice little essays, write-ups. I don't think there's anything. Everything looks good. So I don't know how I can really just open it up. I'll show you a bit here. Some of the material, but yeah. So it's really nice. This is really awesome. And then here is the disc with the slip cover, which is nice. And your back in here. And then I've got plastic on here. But here is the actual case. Now this is reverse artwork, and it is the same artwork as the box. You flip it around. That's what the artwork is. Get that back in there. And here your disc. You've got your 4K. Whoops, which is upside down. Turn it around. It's your 4K with that classic, poster image. And then you've got, you've got 2 Blu-rays. This one, the movie, special features. So a 3-disc set. And you've got, as far as special features, take a look at the back there. I haven't really gone through, but I think there's a lot of new interviews on here. Let's see. My gosh, there's just all kinds of documentaries. I mean, I can't even go through them all because I haven't really actually read them all here. But again, if you can see that, and you can kind of freeze it and take a look at it, be my guest. Try to see if there's something. Interview with Paul Verhoeven. I don't see anything with Elizabeth Berkley that I can see, but I'd be interesting to go through and check if she's on here. Probably not, but it'd be nice if she was. But nonetheless, an awesome presentation for Showgirls. I blown away by the treatment that Vinegar Syndrome gave this. But it's par for the course for Vinegar Syndrome, isn't it? I can't help but I'm always blown away by what they're doing, how they treat a lot of these movies, and giving such great care and love, and to get a release like this for Showgirls of all films, 4K, and putting all this work into it is fantastic. But it proves that a company like Vinegar Syndrome knows their audience. and then stuff like this will get, will just be eaten up by them, myself included. And I'm so glad that they did this. Hey guys, just before I started editing this video, Vinegar Syndrome had posted that they discovered there was some kind of error with their 5.1 audio track on both the 4K and the Blu-ray of Showgirls. What they're doing, they're setting up an automatic replacement system, which basically, if you order the movie directly from Vinegar Syndrome, you're automatically going to get a replacement disc. No questions asked. Don't worry about anything. You're going to get it. However, if you pre-ordered it from a different distributor, you need to send to Vinegar Syndrome or show them the receipt or proof of purchase, if you will, that you got it, so they can send you your replacement disc. This is very similar. This happened, I think, with a year or so ago, 2 ago, when it was when they released Flesh of Frankenstein. They had a similar issue and a couple of discs. They're really good about making these replacements. And again, if you order from them directly, pre-order their, you don't have to do anything. You're getting to get your disc as soon as they ship them out. So I just wanted to add that in here, just to be updated as possible. So that is it for now. If you enjoy this, click thumbs up, share, subscribe, leave me a comment below. If you like Showgirls, did you pick up this set? Did you, have you picked up any version? This is actually, I had a DVD of Showgirls called the, was it Fully Exposed edition? So this was a nice upgrade from that DVD, and obviously a lot more features on here. Or, just say hi. I'll always take hi. So until next time, this is Chuck saying I will see you on the other side.